Unmute.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Daniel. The last and final speaker of the day is from Singapore. He is an entrepreneur from Singapore. He is running a few restaurants under the name of Aladdin Private Limited. And he also has an IT innovative technology firm, Pro Infocus Private Limited. He's also into financial institution consultancy work and always on an innovative journey. He has worked in Microsoft Singapore, Emerson Network, and many financial institutions around the world, like the Unicredit Germany, HSBC Hong Kong, Bank of Muscat Oman, and UOB Singapore. He's the founder of a media company and mobile payment. He's in the process of setting up a new chamber of commerce for business and industry in Singapore. He's mentored to SMEs, students of engineering, in their projects. And he's going to delve on the topic, good, bad, and ours. I have immense pleasure in inviting Mr. Habeeb Mohammed to share his presentation. Welcome, Mr. Habeeb Mohammed.
Can you guys see my presentations?
No, you haven't shared it yet. Yeah, now it's coming. Put it on presentation mode.
Okay, brothers and sisters, peace be upon you all. First of all, I want to thank to the Almighty and thanks to my parents and gurus, whoever come into my life. And as well, I have to thank my friend Chris, who introduced me here. Am I clear? Yeah, you can probably put on the slideshow. Oh, can't you see it? Yeah, its slide is there, but it's not on the slide. Oh, okay. Got it. It's okay? Fine. And very well, I need to thank Mr. Arun Subramaniam because the persuasion is what the topic that given by my friend, and immediately I connected to these topics, and it was wonderful. Within 2 days, he connected me to all the various moderators. I saw a lot of moderators like Daniel Jackal, Durga Prasad, and immediately they have connected me, like Rupa, Nitika, Usha. So many people I have to thank. All the moderators are very, very swift and very responsible. I should be thanking them. And they are the great leaders as well as the visionaries and scholars as well. So I'm just a simple here. Let me just come here to kindle your thoughts. Whatever I just talk normal with my friends, usually just as an idea. So I want to make sure that you don't sleep because I become the last person here. So I don't want to make you lullaby here to make you sleep. So I make you to wake up, and then hopefully my presentation will give you some thoughts to keep your nights or so. So I hope don't blame me for that. So let's move on. Okay, the presentation is about basically ideas, good, bad, mine, and of course yours as well. Okay, so they always miss the ideas even in the first part of brochures. Okay, so ideas. Okay, let me put it to you guys. What is an idea? Can anyone? A thought. Good. The thought coming to subconscious mind. Okay. A plan in the mind. Yeah. Somebody. A flash of thought. Creative thought. So basically, idea is actually a solution for a focused topic. Means a thought about a topic. Okay. Okay, cool. Everybody is right here. There's no right or wrong, but let's think about some ideas for an idea. Okay. So idea is what the person said is a thought, is a plan or a suggestion for solutions. Something that you imagine in your mind and you picturize something about it, and that is what idea. This is the very basic and unique future of the human kingdom. So this is the idea that cleverness, the ability to execute that idea, and design and use of a tool which led the humankind to the increasing domination over the planet on which we live. Do you guys agree?
Yes.
So, this small idea that's a unique future that makes the entire planet to be occupied by us. Okay? So we have to be careful now. The idea which makes us to execute, which brings the birth of the tools. Tools means for us to utilize and make sure every day-to-day life, right? So making a tool or making an idea, we cannot say it's a good or bad. Okay, the idea by itself, we cannot say it's a good or bad because we are not put into use until the intention of the use of the idea which makes that good or bad. So usually Prophet Muhammad says, "Innamal amal bin niyyah," which is like, indeed, all actions are based on the intentions. So that is the prime culprit of good or bad. So to make a tool, as I said, it's not a good or bad. So think about an idea, it's not a good or bad. Okay? So use the idea which where the good or bad starts. Okay? Each idea has an intrinsic value for its own. Okay, the intrinsic value can be divided into two: internal intrinsic value and external intrinsic value. So this intrinsic value, if you want to take up the idea, whether it's what value is it? That means you have to take the judgment by good intrinsic value minus the bad intrinsic value. Okay, then if the factor become positive or negative, that's where you decide the idea is good or bad. Okay, factor of the good or bad based on the usage of it and benefits of it to the whole mankind or to the whole mass of certain community or certain even certain species. You know, we can think about a lot of things about good or bad ideas, and then you can apply these formulas in particular nature of that species or particular domain. You can find out whether the intrinsic value falls in the positive or negative. Okay. Sometimes when people always say good or bad based on their own judgment, right? So we used to say, oh, my idea is always good because from my shoes, we always look into it and say, yeah, it works for me. And sometimes when the politician takes some decision, hey, yeah, you should wear these shoes, then, then only you know why he took this decision, why he took this idea. So this idea become positive or negative or have the intrinsic value based on the person. No, it is not. It is based on how much the idea has been executed and utilized by the mass of people, mass of the domain. Then where it gives the benefits, then only we can say it's a good idea. If not, absolutely it becomes a bad idea. Okay. Then now you tell me, guys, what might be the first idea of the human? Are you guys sleeping? I'm waking you up. Come on, what might be the first idea of the human? Did you ever thought about this? Guys, am I clear? Loud?
Not.
Okay, come on, tell me something.
The question is not clear.
What might be the first idea of the human? Suppose a human in this planet came and then you want to think. First idea. Just now you say idea is what? Thought, right? So the human, what might be his first thought?
Survival?
Sorry? Survival? Okay.
Enjoy.
Okay. Okay. I think you guys have to see the baby when it comes
It's
out.
Darwin's theory of origin of the world.
Okay. But if you look at the baby when it's born, what is the first action that it does? First plan that it does?
Crying.
It cries.
Right, exactly. Because of hunger or because of something it cried. That is the first thought. It initiates a process because it cannot speak, right? So it initiates cry. So when we cry loud, make a language or make a call, make it cry. That is the first thought of the human. Okay, so that is the first call in the thought in the brain. Cry, get attention from the people nearby or from the nature, whatever. Okay, that is the first thought of the human. Like that, it evolved, as somebody says, by the Darwin evolution theory, or you can take it in any form of religious matter per se. Definitely, human has to survive. Just now we say, one person saying it's to survive. Survival is very important. And second thing is happiness. He's a social animal. He has to be happy. Okay, so he needs tool, right? What might be the first tool of the human?
Maybe hand and legs.
Okay, and it's important, right? Of course, I don't want. I'm talking about external tool. I don't want like
Observation.
A lot of things, yeah.
Observation.
Yeah. But it's not a tool.
Curiosity.
Observation is a thought. Okay, so
Curiosity.
something that he want to utilize using the idea, he make it, execute it, and he come out with something, and then he perform or do something. That is what
Curiosity.
Stone to create fire.
fire. Yeah.
You use stone to create fire.
Okay, that's good.
Your brain.
As I say, internal body parts, if you talk about it, you can talk for hours and hours. It's a tool. It's a God or nature has given him. Okay, what
is curiosity?
You are creating a tool using your thought, right? So that is a tool I'm talking about. Okay, so let me come back.
Inspiration.
No, it's basically he wants the water, stone, wood, fire. These are the main tools, initial tools of him. Okay, of course, water, which satisfies his quest. Okay, then the next thing he wants to have some food or something like that is a stone. There is no right or wrong answer. This is all a thinking process by the evolutionists, and it's just a matter of thinking. It came born by itself. Okay, so you might be right, I might be wrong, but it's just I'm going with the coherency of my thoughts, which I want to present it. Yes.
Kindly mute, please, others.
Yeah. Water, stone, and wood. Because water is what he might have seen immediately, right? Because he might be born near the river where the civilization started, or he might have moved near to the water. Then next step is he might pick up a stone. So the stone becomes the important tool for him. Then, as somebody said, by scratching the stones, he might have got into fire. So which is giving a beautiful food for him to cook the food. Okay, and then the stone also protected him, so in a way. And of course, wood is another tool. He might have found some woods in the jungle, which has protected him as well. Or he might have extended, because the stone cannot extend so much because it might be heavy. So he might need another tool to extend himself, which is important. So he might have used wood. You guys following? Good? So far? So that's why the idea that led us to use the tool separate us from the other species. So that's why human is keep on occupying more and more of the planet. Domination is getting more and more. But we have to be careful that these ideas, okay, even it went to the religion. If you look at it, most of the religion, okay, even it symbolized to the highest almighty or anybody, it symbolized with the stone. Somehow there's a linkage between the stone. Okay, people always say, why this is stone, and no, I cannot pray and all this thing, because the human thought, that is a powerful first initial tool has been given. So he wants to thank it and keep it forever in his memories, forever, he wants to keep it as one big symbol that is very important, that helped me. So that's why everywhere it channel derive to the bottom level of the religions and everywhere, the stones, right? All the religion, you name it, anything. Okay, all the religion will have stone, water, wood, or fire. You guys, are you with me?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Agree? Some of the point, any disagreement or anything? Okay, so this linkage, okay, this is what I was thought about, how the religion comes to stone, wood, or fire, or water. So I found out, okay, it might be the human's initial tool, so which he want to keep it. Later he found sun, and it's amazing, and it gives heat, and it gives a light to the day, and for him to work on, or for him to hunt on, or for him to prepare his food. So he make it God. That is a different story. That's a sub-derivatives things. But main root, all, as I say, stone, wood, water, and the fire. In most of the religion, even at the end of the day, evolution happens. Even in Islam, they come to the stand and say, oh, okay, let's leave all the things and then we come to the emptiness. God is something nature, but they still stick to one stone called Kaaba. So which is not a God, but he still symbolized, and they put it into the higher attack. They put it into the higher place where that stone is important in the humankind, and that stone become a very, very attractive to the people, where more people go to the Kaaba or Mecca, Hajj or Umrah, they do kiss the whole stone. Do you guys heard about stories about that, right? Guys, I'm not hearing anything from you guys.
Yes.
Okay, now let me put another thought process, because here totally I'm going to put thought process. You guys have to think, and you guys have to interact with me. Okay, so let's think about the beauty of the nature. Okay, a lot of beauty. If I let you guys talk about what is the beauty, each and everyone will say something beautiful. Okay, water, sky, ocean, and many things. Beautiful jungle, deer or lion. Many things you guys can, based on your own feel, based on your own attractiveness to that thing you might tell. But let me come to a point. We always fight for something. Okay, so which has a big topic, which is male and female, right? Why I put the restroom there, the picture, the restroom there, is for that. So whenever the man and woman is separated, divide, they get into the rest, I think, probably. Otherwise, they get into the quarrel. Guys, are you guys with me?
Yes. Rightly said.
Yes, we are with you.
That's just a joke, So male and female species, okay? Let us see who is beautiful. What do you guys think about it? Who is beautiful?
Both are beautiful.
Both in their own way.
Down. Both are beautiful. Yes, beautiful. Very good. Very simple. We don't get into a quarrel later. Hope we have to spend our night peacefully, right? Okay. In the animal kingdom, if you look at it, male or female, okay, you look at most of the males there, which I have. You see the picture, right? So if you see the lion, the lioness. Okay? See the hen and the cock. Okay? All the male has a different characteristic, right? So nature itself has given something to the male. Sorry guys, female is waiting for me. Female is waiting to fight with me. But it's not for the fight, it's just the nature that I was telling. Do you know why this thing happens in the animal kingdom? Anyone thought about it? Can you unmute and say something so that I know you guys are live and kicking?
The female choose the partner.
Female to choose the partner, okay? Any others?
Dominance.
Dominance?
Yeah.
The dominance, is that?
Power.
Okay. Someone?
Physical power has given more than.
Okay. So basically,
Protection.
nature, in the animal kingdom, reproduction is very, very important. Otherwise, the species will go to the extinct. So that's why the male has been got the dominance as well as more attractive, and then more follow up by the female. Okay, that's where most of the animal kingdoms, male or beautiful, you can say. Yeah. So what about the human? Okay, no doubt, beautiful ladies only. Okay, so handsome guys. Okay, so beautiful is always ladies, handsome guys. Okay, those who ever thought about this good idea executes in their mind a plan or a thought is always beautiful. Okay, so for me, that's what I consider what is being beautiful. Compassionately or fellow for helping the fellow human being or fellow animal or any other creations. That is what the beauty. Okay, so I don't want to say who is beautiful, but in human kingdom, we are born to enjoy the experience of the happiness. Okay, that's why we are equally being given beauty. So we are not only reproduction species, we are here to be responsible and reproduce as well. So that's the idea behind the human who are both beautiful and attracted to each other. Okay. So did you guys ever thought about something? So many millions of birds we always see, right? So very rarely we see these incidents that birds fall into death or birds die in front of us. Did you guys ever see the birds, more birds death in front of you guys in your life experience?
No.
Did you ever thought about it? How many millions of birds in this world? Not even seeing one bird die or leave their carcass or their dead body in front of you. Very rare, very seldom, because it happens because of the accident, or it happens because of our own mistakes, because of the antennas or because of the electrical wires or some mistakes by us, it gets into accident, and where that particular bird will be seen as the dead body. So very rarely. How? Even animals also the same. We never seen, unless maybe you go to the jungle or something like that, maybe deep into the jungle, maybe you might see one or two. But still, maybe elephant like a big ones, like you might see a few, but very rarely you will see the death body of the animals, even in the jungle. So did you ever thought about it? How nicely the nature has been created, and it comes and lives peacefully, coexists, and it never gives any damage to anyone, and then it very peacefully goes into their extinct as well. So the process of life and the death, it do it like a very, very cool and common way, without disturbing, without doing anything. So normally even the death of the body of animal might be used by someone. It gives you a smell, it gives you a nice smell, it gives you some sort of very beautiful, if you convert that into a beautiful product, that kind of things. But only the other way around, the human is once dead, we are completely in a different state. Unless this life is inside, we've been cherished, we've been given a big honor, we've been given respect and everything. Yeah. So you can see those things. So this is always I thought about it. How come it is possible? So always thought about this. So nature created it quietly, and it lives. All the creations live the life fullest. Okay. They themselves become the feed of the others. Okay. They never leave a trace. They never take it as a territory. They never occupy. Only the human, because of the greed, because of this idea, which is bad when the factor of intrinsic value becomes very negative, then we forgot the original idea, what we've been born for, what we've been to be coexist with others. We completely lost track of it. That's why the whole thing is haywire right now in this planet, because of a lot of dominance as well. Okay. So, guys, did you ever thought about this? Also, tiger runs maximum about 65 kilometers, but mostly 50 kilometers per hour. Okay. The deer can reach to the maximum speed of 80 to 95 kilometers at the speed. So all kind of deers, when you talk about it, white-tailed deer and all these things is about 80, averagely about 75, 10, even you look at the max is about 10 kilometers faster than. But yet, the low-speed tiger catches the fast deer. Why? Anybody knows? Some thought, it is not a right or wrong answer, just
Fear.
Okay?
Mindset.
Mindset, okay?
Bush hunting.
Usually tiger
Focus.
make a trap and catches the deer.
But this animal kingdom never, maybe they have instinct thoughts, not like a human think about it, like a trap, like put a hole or something like that to make sure, or put a wood there to make sure the deer falls in so easily get a prey. No such thing, right?
Actually, the weakest, hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, the weakest actually animal in that flock or in that place will be actually prey to the tiger. It's a natural process of eliminating the weak or the old kind of an animal, or the one with some kind of a disease or something.
The nature and all these things fine. But what I'm saying that naturally, if you compare the statistics, right, this is 50 kilometers speed, this is 75 kilometers speed. So which runs faster? The 75 should be faster, right? Naturally. But yeah, tiger catches. But you can say it's very hungry, so it runs faster and all this. But if you want to escape, you'll be more faster. Okay? We can talk about this.
Deer can run fast, but not for a long time, whereas tiger can run for a long time.
No, tiger cannot run. This is the short burst only tiger can give.
Habeeb Saab,
Yes?
this is Narendra Kumar. This is most probably a reason of psychology. That is, deer is looking back to see how far the tiger is.
Okay.
So due to that time, it may be reduce its speed.
But you won't stand and look. But of course, the first person says a fear. Once they started run, right, even though how fast you are, you had a fear inside yourself. And as you say, it turns back and see, hey, is it somebody chasing me still? Or can I rest? Or can I divert? Or which direction I have to take? So slight fear and as inside their thought, they have the look back feeling. So that's what reduces the speed. Where the tiger, even though the lesser speed, as you say, it goes for the target, completely without looking at, because it doesn't have anything. It has to look at in front and then it has to run. Unfortunately, the poor deer has to look behind a little bit and then have to look for the tiger, whether it's there or we have to take any other diversion or something like that. That is the whole story. Like us, why I have bring this picture is the similar story in this pandemic. We all looking for something, which we should not. We should go ahead.
Yeah, you are right.
Okay. That is the idea. That is a thought process that I want you to have it, because we all very good cleverness. We have very good humankind, as I say, have a very good cleverness and everything, but slight fear. The fear is the factor that makes us to take the wrong decisions, that makes us to put us into the different position, so which destroys not only our existence, it also destroys the coexistence of the other species as well. Okay, so this has to be noted down in this pandemic. So that's why I bring this for the sake of you guys to think about it, something. Okay, so idea is for the human kingdom. We are not to compete. Okay, we are here to compassionately share and enjoy, and all the joys which we share, it always gets double. As you say, people come here and moderators, everybody doing their job, not for the sake of money or anything. They just come here and share the joy of whatever they thought, which always doubles the job, right? So it multiplies, okay? So the same way, if you have a friend or something, whether if you just share your sorrow, it gets always talk. So we all knows it, but we always less to practice. So we have the thought about all these things, but we never take any action. We never execute. By now, you know which is a good idea, which is a bad idea. Okay, first of all, let's think about, let's have some small conversation between us. What you thought is a good inventions? Anyone? One invention only. You should be knowing that invention is very close to your heart. It's one invention. Everyone can just
Electricity.
Any other?
Right, brothers.
Sorry?
Right, brothers. Plane.
Aircraft. Aeroplane. Okay. Beautiful. But pandemic, we are stuck. We cannot fly. We cannot fly. But we are very, very rarely taking the flight now. But right, brothers should be happy. Any others? Sorry? Okay, so many things. We can name it many things, okay? So the ideas came from Aristotle is based on writings, theologies, philosophies, which is books. Beautiful, right? The ideas which he writing down so that it's shared. So now we can, you don't need to go back to the same process of thinking, right? Immediately we can look into it and then we go to the next level. So it's a then if you talk about, as you say, Wright brothers, Albert Einstein, Thomas Alva Edison, and Alexander Graham Bell, all these people has had a thought, they executed, and then they bought a very beautiful device which become very useful to the humankind. Okay, so intrinsic value, even though there are external intrinsic value has some effect, but most of the intrinsic value of that idea is very high. So people use the communication device, which is Alexander Graham Bell's the phone, which converted to mobile. Even though now we very always, how many of you scold your kids? You know, you always be in the WhatsApp. Guys, you always even sometimes my kids will be messaging me from the room. I just scold them, you know, hey, come on, we are at home. You are doing the WhatsApp from your room. So, but so you might have such experience, right? It's usually engrossed in the WhatsApp or Facebook or Instagram or something, Twitter or something. But the intrinsic value is too high that somehow or rather, most of the times it benefits them. They read something like this scientific platform talking, they might have got a link and they might have joined. So this all becomes the good ideas. Okay, when it gets a bad idea is when the same mobile device has been put into action for something to the bad company, bad thing, then it become a bad idea. Then it also gives an intrinsic value internally. It will the factor their internal as well as their human instinct go away from them. You know, we see a lot of people like or addicted by the games, and they even went to the crazy levels, right? We've seen them. So which is
I have a question here.
sorry.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Your time is over.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to wind up your presentation,
Yeah,
you do it.
like there are a lot of good ideas and bad ideas. Okay, so let me give one last thought about it. Mind can imagine future only in the context of present release. Okay, so always remember that. Be happy and always tend to feel that that based on the happiness, the future will be great. Okay, so always remember that. So hope guys let me come to the don't ever think it's good or bad or something or right or wrong is my answer. So everything, if you don't think, everything become idle. Of course, we have to think, but make the more intrinsic value of the ideas more good. Okay. Thank you, guys. Nice knowing. I have to thank all the scholars and everyone. Hope I have kindled you guys. So you guys have many thoughts. You can come here and talk about it more things. The moderators here. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Abid. All audience.
Yeah, I'm launching the audience poll now. Friends, please answer all the questions. There are 10 questions in total.